Hey, what's up? This is Kristen Carter, and you've tuned in to the I Have ADHD podcast. I am medicated, caffeinated, regulated, and ready to roll. It is so good to be here with you. I am so happy to be in my office in Reading, Pennsylvania. I am not in the studio today. Obviously, I I just had a heck of a week. And you know what? Something had to give. Something had to give. And so here we are. We are here in my office doing a little podcast recording for you. I had the idea to host a focused coaching call featuring members who would be willing to be on the podcast. And so that's what you are going to experience now. I haven't shared a coaching call in quite some time with you. And so I thought that we were due to give you a little peek behind the scenes within the Focus program and just share what it's like to be coached. A lot of you listening to the podcast maybe are curious about ADHD coaching, or maybe you're just like, I hear about this focus thing. I don't even know what she's talking about. I don't even know what that is. And so what we do within Focused is I host a Zoom webinar. Everybody shows up and then people raise their hands if they want coaching. And we have a one-on-one face-to-face conversation. And then everybody else in the chat hangs out, chit chats with each other, makes comments, asks questions. And it's really just a party in the chat. And so today you're going to hear from Bob. Bob is struggling with overwhelm. He's struggling with his health and he's struggling with prioritizing himself, and he feels stuck. And so I talked to Bob today about ways that he can get unstuck. And if that's not relatable, I don't know what is, because every single one of us ADHDers has been stuck at one time or another. And it is not fun. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not easy. And so I know that you are going to love to hear from Bob. And then additionally, I speak with Heejung, and she is struggling in her workplace relationships. And those workplace relationships are really impacting how she is able to show up and how she's able to enjoy or not enjoy her workday. And so we have a long conversation about boundaries and about safety and about what toxic relationships look like and who we need to prioritize in those moments. So I think that these will be really relatable to you. I think you will love to hear all about these two people. And I just want you to notice how helpful it is to hear someone else be coached, how helpful it is to not be the one in the hot seat, to not be the one struggling in the moment, but to observe it and to be able to apply the wisdom of coaching to your own life, to your own scenarios. And this is how we change our lives within the Focus program. This is how I changed my life when I was in a coaching membership for 3 years and I was only coached by the coach one time. That's it. I only showed up to 2 live calls total in the 3 years that I was in the membership, because all I did was listen to the replays. I had little kids. I was just on the go all the time. And I just popped the replay into my ear via podcast, which is exactly what we do within Focused as well. And I changed my whole life because of it. And that's why I am here today, being able to podcast and coach, is because of the self-development work that I did within that program. So I'm really excited for you to see and just kind of experience how impactful coaching can be. I hope you love every second of it. All right, here you go. Hi, where are you in the world?
I am South Central PA, right outside of Gettysburg.
Cool.
So,
Oh, that's right. That's so cool.
yeah, not too far from you. And
Not too far.
yeah, go birds.
Go birds. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. I said to my husband, I went home to make lunch, just a good old peanut butter and honey sandwich. And I was like, but what if they lose? And he was like, don't even speak of it. Don't even speak of it. I'm like, okay. Okay.
That would not be good because
No.
the town would definitely burn, and
I
my
know.
daughter, who is a Penn graduate, has
Oh,
to go back for a little job fair tomorrow. So I told her, let's see what happens with the game the night before you go back into Philly tomorrow. So
smart. Very
yeah,
smart.
yeah, absolutely.
How can I help you?
Okay, well, where do I begin? Let's see. 2.5 month listener, first time caller. Let's see.
I love
Okay.
it.
I always feel like I always got to preface this with everybody because it's like some of the things that I say might not come through well. And let me just say, I do not want to hurt myself or anybody else, nothing like that. I've just said from time to time with the way I'm feeling and everything that's been going on, if I would happen to fall into a coma for 6 months, I'd be okay with that right now,
Yeah.
just because I need time for the voices and everything just to stop.
Mm, yeah.
It's something I've dealt with obviously my entire life,
Mm,
not really knowing what it was until about maybe 5, 7 years ago.
mm.
Actually, when my daughter started going to Penn, uh, did we realize that, oh, wait, there's a connection here, even though I didn't see it because I did not understand that her ADHD is not my ADHD, as
Mm.
my ADHD is not my son's or my mother's. But
Yep.
don't tell my mother that. I mean, she's gone, rest in peace. But I did try telling her that once that I got it from her, but she's old school German, so she was like, that's just ridiculous. You guys are lazy. Stop this.
Yep.
Get to work.
Yep.
Do something. Stop being lazy. Whatever.
Mm.
Yeah, but that is what it is. Um,
Mm.
for me right now, it's really tough because I'm just in this vicious circle of the ADHD, anxiety, depression. One feeds into the other, and I everything is just unbearable for me.
Mm.
And I get overwhelmed very easily. Because it's amazing, especially when you're on Insta or whatever, and you start, looking up ADHD stuff, and then you see, yourself and everybody else pop in, and there's so many out there that you like, okay, is this legit? Is this not legit? Is this app good? Is this app crap?
Yeah.
And again, I just shut down. In fact, even with your program, I'm gonna be the first to admit, uh, even though you even have a thing that says on the website that says start here, I still can't get myself to do it.
Yeah.
And it's so miserable because I can't look at the workbook. I don't I
Mm.
there's I just feel so overwhelmed. I don't know where to go. And I think for the most part, because again, this has costed me relationships, whether it was my first wife, friends, jobs. Most recently, I lost my job in back in January because of this, because everywhere I go, everywhere I'm around, this is still not considered a real thing.
Yeah.
I still got people that, my own doctor. I mean, I can get him to prescribe me meds and everything, but it's just like whatever I want, he'll give me. Period.
Mm.
So there's no way to like, okay, let's test levels here and everything else. Because on top of that, I'm diabetic. So it's like I got all those meds and blood pressure, and yeah, the list goes
Yeah.
on and on. So I'm just, I can't find a counselor that's worth a pot to pee in around here.
Yeah.
um they it's just so miserable, and I've been spending so much time, helping my daughter through it all and everything, because ironically, when she got the pen, and said, hey, I'm ADHD, they said, well, you got an official diagnosis. Well, around here, the only thing we could do is the old TOVA test, which nobody, nobody, regards that as legit.
Yeah.
So she had to go to that uh, neurology something in Philly, where they
Yep.
gave her the actual diagnosis so she could get accommodations there, which was
Great.
really good for her.
Great.
So but then it's like, but for my baby girl, it's like the ADHD. And she had um an ovarian torsion 2 years in a row.
Um,
So her endometriosis, her PCOS, it's like,
um,
okay, I feel almost bad thinking that, hey, I gotta do stuff for me, when I look at her and think, hey, her body is attacking her on a daily basis. So it's like I got to just kind of, again, going back to my mom, tough it up and just try to figure things out. But unfortunately, that's not going to do it because I'm so stuck right now. I don't know what to do with myself. And I hate it. 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 Have I mentioned I hate it?
I'm just holding all of this. And I just want you to know, like, you are so not alone in this. I think that you're putting language to so many of our ADHD experiences, especially in certain seasons of life. And it feels to me like so many things are pulling for your attention, and your daughter, your own health, your job situation, all of it. It feels like too much. I just want to validate that for you. It feels like too much.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
But I guess, again, like I said, trying to find somebody that I can talk to. I
Yeah.
had one guy a few years back that was going really well with in York, and unfortunately, the practice closed down out of nowhere because the guy who owned it passed away, but had no
Mm,
there was no will, there was nothing in place. So, and
mm.
the only thing with that guy is, even though he had ADHD, my wife thought that he wanted to be more of a buddy than
Wow.
a counselor because
Yeah.
he loved hearing me talk. Because if you haven't noticed, I will talk and I will go on and on.
Yes, and you're very entertaining.
Yeah,
So
so
I think I can understand if someone doesn't have good boundaries or, with their counseling. Okay,
yeah.
let me just pause you. You've described a really difficult situation and something that I think a lot of people experience, which is just like I have no intention of harming myself, but I wish I could press the pause button and just stop everything for, like recover, have 6 months to like think and or not think and like have a break. Um, Here's my question for you. I can you just take me through what supports do you currently have in place? So I know you're in focused. I'm so glad you're here. Are you currently medicated for ADHD?
Um, I started up on Vyvanse earlier this week again. I've I've been hoarding all this medication. I have it, because I get to a point. The biggest problem I have too is like some of the medication I get, the side effects are horrible. Like
Ooh.
my jaw is in so much pain because I grind my teeth so much at night from
Okay.
it,
Yeah.
and it gets a little crazy. But I did have an actual checkup here for my A1C and all that with the doc, and he actually now he put me on, some Prozac to help me because he's more concerned about my depression than anything else right now,
Okay.
which is where he always goes with it. Because again, not a big ADHD believer.
Yeah.
I mean, he refuses even to say ADHD. He's still old school ADD, and just
Oh,
leave it at that.
wow.
So,
So
and
you are currently
I just started back this week.
okay.
As far as other support, the best thing I can say, honestly, is the only thing that probably still has me here and moving is my wife of
Mm.
almost 25 years now, because with her having to deal with my daughter and myself, and even my son, who's from my previous marriage, she has done all this research and she goes through it because she can read. I'm the type
Hmm.
that I can't read because by the time I'm to the third sentence, I forgot what I read in the
Yeah.
first. So
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
does all that, and she's the one that knows how to talk to us. She knows,
Mm.
where we're at on a certain day. So she knows, okay, I can come at you this way, or I got to come at you this way. And she's the greatest. And
Amazing. God bless. God bless all of the partners that are the interpreters for us,
yeah, yeah. So
right?
so
That's
that's about
beautiful.
it. And like I
Okay,
said,
so we have a doctor who is prescribing medications. We're
yeah.
starting up on Vyvanse again. You said that you would love to have a counselor.
Hmm.
I have a recommendation for you. I don't know if you've seen it in the Focus Slack. I'm going to say it here to your face, but then I'll send, are you, are you in our Slack or not? And if you're not, it's totally fine.
I think set stuff
Ish.
up in the beginning. I don't
Okay.
know if I
I'm going to
forgot some.
actually have my team email it to you so that you don't
Perfect.
have to go through the rigmarole of like figuring out how to get into Slack.
Perfect.
And I'm making a note of that now, or I will forget. So, best friend here, sticky note.
Or you could just hold it
Um,
up on a sign tonight at the game, and when the camera pans around to you, I'll see it and I'll be like, there we
That's
go.
amazing. That's so funny. Bob. Okay. Okay. So I do have a therapy practice recommendation. I had a woman on my podcast like a year, maybe 2 years ago. Her name is Danica Harris. And she is an amazing counselor. And she has a counseling practice called Empowered Healing Dallas. Empowered Healing, and then Dallas, Texas. And I have coordinated with her. I reached out to her and I said, hey, I'm recommending therapy all the time to my clients, and they're kind of looking at me like, okay, but like where, how? And so I asked her, like, do you have people in your practice that can work with people in different states? So she has a couple therapists in her practice who are PSI-PACT certified, meaning they are legally allowed to work in various states. I think there's 40 something states uh, that are PSI-PACT, like in the PSI-PACT program. All of that to say, that would probably be a great place to start. I actually did a training for their therapy practice on how to work with ADHD clients. So they have a lot of like my input and information on how to have a great relationship with an ADHD client. So I'm going to give you that as a resource to you. Okay. That's not the point of our conversation necessarily, but I do agree with you that a solid counselor would probably be really helpful. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay. There's,
I'm a little off balance because you said Dallas. So
I
hopefully
know, dude. Listen, I know. We're not going to make any assumptions about them
I'm trying
and
not
their
to.
football loyalties.
Trying not to, but I am a very, very diehard. So it's tough. It is so tough.
Dude, I appreciate that so much. Okay, so my dear, there's two more things that I want to touch on.
Okay.
I want to touch briefly on your beautiful love for your daughter. She's so lucky to have you as her dad.
She's awesome.
She's so lucky to have a dad like you, to have someone who thinks that she's awesome, is supportive of her, understands her, and is really concerned about her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I just have to say, I mean, when we went through this with the ovarian torsion, I happened to be home where I was working from home at the time, and she was in the bathroom when she collapsed. And
Um,
it's weird because one of my supposed ADHD powers is, I'm always good with in times of, stress and everything. I put the cape on and
yes.
I'm off, and I'm doing things. But that was the first time in my life that I actually sat there for like a split second and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I can't even think,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh my God, the worst. But
Oh, honey.
anyway, sorry.
Oh, I'm glad you shared that. I want to affirm your dedication to her. And I want to encourage you to maybe just in this season, really work on thinking of yourself first.
I think that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Because like I said, she graduated, she's moving on to
Yes.
dealing with law school and all that stuff now and everything.
She
Because
sounds incredible. What an
oh,
accomplished woman.
oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you because here's a girl that literally was a 5.0 throughout high school and
What?
then was basically given the choice of the Ivy League school of her choice full ride, which was like,
Dang, what the heck?
she
And that's
is,
your kid, Bob.
I
That's
know.
your kid.
And I did. And I even had it tested to find out for sure because I was like, there's no way. There's no way.
That's
But honestly,
amazing.
her mom's very bright as well. So
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Okay, here's your work. I believe that your work is letting her go and putting yourself first. Okay? She's letting herself go. She's living her life. She's doing great.
mhm.
Internally in your own mind and soul, I want you to daily, minute by minute, let her go and put yourself first because you are in a very defeating cycle of the ADHD, anxiety, depression, ADD, all of that together. And you are the one who is in need of your attention right now.
Yeah.
How does that feel for you?
Yeah. I know it. I had to hear it.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. I
Yes.
appreciate
I
it.
think it's going to be hard because it is a lot easier to focus on the people that we love than to really turn our attention to ourselves, especially if you come from a family that was a suck it up buttercup family, hmm
Yeah.
which you
Yeah,
did, right? And so
absolutely.
anytime you prioritize yourself, look at your own needs, and really are vulnerable and honest with yourself, it will probably feel super uncomfy
Yeah.
because that's like, in the words of our parents' generation, selfish, self-centered, narcissistic, you're being selfish. When in actuality, no, like you deserve to focus on you and to figure out what's going on for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm kind of wanting to like warn you that it will be really uncomfortable to focus on yourself, which
This
is
is true.
probably why we focus on daughter so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Because,
So much easier, right?
well,
To
I even thought about it for, the past 8 months now where I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, for whatever reason, I don't know why it's a misprint, but on my driver's license, it says I'm in my mid 50s. I don't know
right.
where they got that. But I just sit there and I think to myself, is it too late for me? Am I a lost cause at this point? Because
Mm.
how, how do you teach an old dog new tricks?
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's just like, it, like I said, it's tough because being this age, getting back to work's going to be a struggle,
Yep.
because obviously, even though it's illegal, for age discrimination, it's out there,
Yeah,
it
of
is.
course. Of
So it's
course.
like, how do I try to talk people into understanding that, hey, I'm here for the long haul as long
Yeah.
as I can be here,
Yep. Yep.
and I am I'm great at what I do. I really am.
Yeah.
But I think if anything, and this was before knowing about ADHD for myself, was all my write-ups were any kind of critique that I've got was that I do not delegate well,
Mm.
which made sense because guess what? Nobody can do it better than me.
Yep.
And that
Yep.
was, and I didn't realize that until for the longest time. And it's like, wow,
Yeah.
learning to let things go and giving it to somebody. That's even with my wife. She'll sit there and she's like, let me help you. And I get all antsy and I start to shake and everything because
Oh,
not that
honey.
I'm like a hoarder, but I got like a whole life inside my garage right now
Yeah.
that we could barely walk through. And
Yeah.
she's just like, let me help you with this.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I want to, but then I'll see one little thing make it out to the garbage, and I'm like, no, not that. I might need that in 30 years. Come on,
Oh, honey. Okay, let me speak to something here. I want to be very clear. I'm giving you the mom eyes, even though you're older than me. Ready? It's not too late for you. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it a couple times. It's not too late for you. Mid 50s, get out of here. You got so much more life to live. And what neuroscience tells us is that your brain is willing to change from the cradle to the grave. Not necessarily, we're not going to cure ADHD. We're not going to make all the problems go away, but there is hope for you to make improvements. There is hope with the right support for you to feel less overwhelmed, to get a job that you're really good at, to deepen your connections and your relationships with the people that you love. There's so much hope for that. I want to paint you a picture that like the future is bright. It is not too late. And you might need to borrow these words. You might need to clip this and just listen to it over and over. It is not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late.
Okay.
You're not that old of a dog. You know what I'm saying? We can teach you plenty of new tricks. Now, if you keep doing the same things, nothing will change.
Right.
So that's where I want to talk about making sure we connect you with a good counselor. Making sure that if the Vyvanse that you started taking isn't a good fit, that you figure out like, okay, what could be a good fit here? And then whatever it looks like for you, and this is probably a great thing to bring to the community in Slack, and it's a great thing to talk about with your counselor. What does it look like for me to prioritize myself, my own health above other people's right now, so that I can get into a good place, so that I can have more to give to the people that I love?
Mhm.
Okay.
Wow.
Received?
Makes my ears hot right now. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's hard to receive the good, isn't it?
It is.
It's
It
a
really
lot
is.
it's a lot easier for us ADHDers to hear like, "Hey, you messed up on this. Hey, I'm unhappy." You're just like, "Yep, that's par for the course. I'm used to hearing that." But when
Yeah.
somebody looks you in the face and is like, "You have so much potential," in a way that's like, "Don't wait," not in a way that's like, "Don't waste your potential," but like, "No, I see a bright future for you. It's coming.
Hmm.
You're on the right path. Keep going." I really, really want you to know that.
I hope.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing
And
that I want to chat about.
if real quick,
Yep.
just in case I get cut off from you for whatever reason,
Yep.
if we are, on this podcast together and we're doing this thing, please, people, like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Okay. Yeah.
We're going to clip that. That's
Thank you.
amazing. Oh my gosh.
All right. What's my last thing?
Okay, last thing. My, I think it's, I don't think, I know it's completely normal to come into a program like Focused and feel overwhelmed and like, I don't even know what to do with this. My question for you is, what is the easiest point of entry for you? Because we have lots of options. We have the coaching calls live, like you are with me right now. We
Mhm.
have the recordings that you can access on your phone or in the portal. We have workbooks. We have the Slack community. What feels easiest?
That is
Or does it all
That's
feel
hard
hard?
because you would think any of it's really easy. You do
No, no,
your
no, no, no,
program,
no,
your
no.
program is really friendly, user friendly.
Yes,
But
but
for
here's
me,
the thing. When you are in a season of overwhelm, anything can tip the scale and be too much.
yeah. And
So,
and and, and again, my wife tries to help me. I mean, she went through, we went through everything that was available through this, and she
oh
printed
my
everything up
God.
for me and
Oh
color
my
coded it.
gosh, what
So
a
it's
woman.
like I got everything here, but as well, you can't see, but it's still blank because come on, pen to paper, do something. And then I just
Yeah,
sit here, and next thing I know, it's the end of the day and I'm starting over again. Time blindness is the
totally.
worst for me because
Here's
oh
the
my,
thing, though. Here's the thing. You've been to live calls 2 days in a row. Do live calls feel easiest?
I do. I do. I like them because it's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, how about for a month, we take the pressure off of having other things to do. And we just say, I'm going with the path of least resistance. I enjoy the live calls. It's not hard for me to do that. So that's what I'm going to do.
Easy. Got that.
Okay. What if I say you're not allowed to do a workbook or feel any pressure about a workbook for 1 month? How does that feel for you?
It feels good, but it also feels like a loss. It feels like I'm taking a loss because I
Okay,
haven't.
let's poll the group. There's 34 people here. Friends, who of you have actually done workbooks? And who of you don't ever look at workbooks? So Blaze said, I looked at a workbook once. Blaze, how long have you been here? Tamara's been with me for 5 years. She's never completed a workbook. Maggie said, I once held one and flipped through the pages. Connor says, I've never touched a workbook and I've been here 3 months. Hold
Wow.
on.
Okay.
Heather says, it's in the middle of my to do list. Courtney says, never completed a workbook. Blaze said, I've been here a year and a half. Monica says, barely. I always want to, but I never get to it. Dominique says, never. Liz said, I looked at one once or twice. Felicity, I've been here 3 years and I've never gotten even close to through one, and I don't even bother to look at them anymore. Matt said, I ordered and printed one. It's still in the hold on. I ordered a printed one. So he ordered one off the website. It gets sent to you. It's still in the envelope.
Wow.
Y'all, it doesn't matter. Workbooks are not the pathway. Some people, listen, some people are workbook nerds. That's why the workbooks are there. They're for the workbook nerds. I was a workbook nerd.
Okay.
So I wanted to produce workbooks for people who are workbook nerds, but don't use the resources here to hold them over your head and beat yourself up with. I do not consent to you using my work to beat yourself up with. Work, you're not even allowed to do workbooks, Bob.
Okay.
Workbooks aren't for you.
Very true.
Heejung says, okay, I'm a workbook nerd. The thing is, what if you just utilize the live calls in this season of unemployment? Once you're out of the season of unemployment, it's not, live calls are not going to be accessible to you. So we'll
Right.
have to figure out, you'll either do like replays or the workbooks, or you'll move on from the program, no problem. But I just want you to know that, like, you got to take the path of least resistance and don't beat yourself up and tell yourself it's not enough. You've been to calls 2 days in a row. You're showing up. So, what I want you to do is just show up to the calls when you're able to and use this as the time to change your life. This right here. This is the time to change your life. Maybe that means that you're asking questions in the chat. Maybe it means that you're sharing and being a little vulnerable with the people that are here. Maybe it means that you're just like really trying to immerse yourself in the coaching that I'm doing. Okay. But no workbooks for you. You're doing it right.
Okay. No workbooks.
And you can just tell your wife, listen, I love that you printed this. She would probably do a workbook. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, she had like sticky tabs, like color coded. Bless
Yep.
her.
That's her. She's uber organized. I mean, she's
Yes, bless her.
single-handedly saving St. Matthew's Lutheran Church in York right now.
Oh, bless her. Okay, so just because that would have been her path if this was something that she was participating in, it's not going to be your path. And we already know that like you and your wife are so different. So you're not going to be taking the same paths. So when she's like, how's focus going? You can say, I'm really learning a lot from the calls. It's the best. Or if it's the worst, like whatever you think. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be about workbooks and completing assignments. That feels like school.
Yeah, that
That's
didn't work too well the
gross.
first time around.
No, that's no.
I'm really glad someone's telling me.
Um, Dominique says, focus taught me to lean into the path of least resistance, and it has changed my life. And I just want to really validate that. The path of least resistance is still a good path.
My
Okay.
daughter just popped in and she's like, I'm finally glad somebody's telling him to take care of himself first.
Oh, hello, daughter. We love you. We're so proud of you. We're so proud of you. And we love your dad too. All right. I'm going to send you on your way with a big heart and go
Go
birds.
birds.
Go birds.
Yes.
And I do really implore you to prioritize yourself. Okay. And then also within the focus program, take the path of least resistance. It
Will
will
do.
change your life. Okay.
Will do.
All right,
Thank you.
honey. All right. Sending you back.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Here I am. Okay. Hi, Christine.
How are you?
Thank you. So good to see you.
Good to see you too. It's been a minute. I just love seeing your smiling face.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. And I like your shirt. I just typed in, this is Philadelphia Eagle, right? You're talking about? Okay, because I live in another continent in Germany, and I'm like, okay, is it football? What is it? I saw Arizona Cardinals. I'm like, no, that's not it. She's from Philadelphia. So, okay, I got it.
You should Google Go Birds and see what comes up next time.
It's okay.
I love it. All right. How can I help you today, lady?
Okay, I want to talk about relationship at workplace today. Maybe the theme may be FOMO, fear of missing out, safe and unsafe people, actually. So I've been keeping myself very busy. So I think I may need to give you a little background of what has been happening, what's changing in my
Sure.
heart right now. So I started working as a music teacher in gymnasium. That's like school for 5th to 13th grade in Germany. I love my job. I am so thankful what I have. Yeah. And I really like being there serving the students. But I realize what makes it difficult, most challenging for me is not the workload, but it's dealing with people. I think really the relationship is in our lives most difficult thing. Doesn't matter where you're family, workplace, friendship. And I'm realizing, so I just want to just tell you what has been happening. So when I started working, there was a coworker who started with me. He's end of 20s. We got along really well. And already at the workplace, there was an elderly woman. So she's in end of her 50s, an elderly teacher, man, beginning of 60s, who will be retiring probably in 2, 3 years. And in the beginning, I was a little bit careful because I was new. And when I was hired, the principal, he had a wish. I said, I really want to have a school choir. Can you do that? I said, I try. And I have been very successful, which I'm very thankful. I have now 2 school choirs. And then, so for the younger children and also for the like the junior seniors, we sing together with teachers. So I mean, in the beginning, he was a little bit not convinced me, not being German trained teacher, but now he's convinced and he's really behind me. I'm really happy about that. And what happened? So I thought, oh, how can I make sure the choir stays successful? I thought, oh, I want to have a like retreat. So I thought, but we need money for that. So I was looking around the town, who can I ask money for? I applied for this money. I got it. I was so thankful. And I like, yes, we can have a retreat. The students don't have to pay as much. And I mentioned that to in the 3 years ago, my coworkers, and they were furious. I said, why did you not tell us? You cannot do that. You're not supposed to ask for money. If you ask money every time, school has nothing to do. This is the job of a principal to find your money. I was like, okay. I was totally like confused. I mean, why shouldn't I ask for money outside when I see that I need it? But at the beginning, okay, I'm new here. Keep my mouth shut. Continue working. And then it happened also last year. So the one of the elderly colleague, the woman, she had her wind ensemble band, which has not been very successful. She's been having hard time because not many children who want to learn to play an instrument. Usually it's like band program in the States, yeah. So whenever I see her, she often complains that the principal does not support the band program and so on, which I don't quite agree because I think reasons is because the kids, they don't want to be part of it. And you cannot say this is a responsibility of the principal. I say, okay, okay, but I keep my mouth shut. I don't want to get in conflict. And then last year, my husband was kind of sick. Yeah, he had an operation, and at the home it was a difficult situation. And I wanted to have something where I can really have a success. And I thought about, oh, maybe we can sponsor a school concert, yeah, involving not only the choir and band, but every student. So I mean, in my class, so that the parents get to see what we are doing in music class. So I had the idea, and I presented. And this one colleague, she was completely against it, and her reason was, it's too much work. I don't want to do that. I said, it's okay. If you don't want to do it, then only colleagues who want to do it can take part of it. She said,
Mm,
no. She says, because if you do it and if I don't participate, then my students will ask, why are we not doing that? Miss Kopish, her class is doing it. I don't want to deal with that. I said, oh, yeah, okay, but if you're too busy, then you said you don't have time for it. What is a big problem? And then it turned out at the end, so she ends up being part of it and she put a lot of work into it, which I was glad. But what happened? I said, yeah, there are about 10 classes. So we need to really limit the time, maybe every class 5 minutes, yeah, so that we get through within 1 hour. Well,
mm,
her class took 20 minutes of the time. And I thought to myself, wait a minute. In the beginning, she was against what she's doing, yeah, what we are doing. And now she takes 20 minutes, 4 times as much. I'm like, what is going on? And when I mentioned all of them, it's very important for me to have this concert because I want to encourage the student that I need something where I can have success. Yeah, because my husband being sick. And her comment was, well, I raised my children alone, three of them. And I thought, what is this? Yeah. So it was a little very invalidating. And
mhm.
I was like really angry about her response. I told her, I understand you had a difficult time being a single mother, yeah? But I don't want to be compared. Your situation is for you difficult. I have right now my issue. Yeah. And this year, it's like what happened is that I have two colleagues who've been very supportive of what I'm doing in the choir and all that. And one of them unfortunately left the school, and the other one, he just got a baby. So I feel like now my team, my allies are gone
Yes.
on. Yeah, and this feels a little bit, I'm pretty sad about it, honestly. And
Yeah.
of course, I want to be informed what's going on in the music business, yeah, in the school. And then sometimes I do see this elderly colleague and I see them. So sometimes I'm curious what they're talking about. But whenever I stop, like go by when they're talking, they're often complaining. They're often complaining
Yes.
about school, the principal, what they don't like. And I'm like, same time, well, I want to be part, is hear what they hear, but I don't want to be part of their complaining because, and I don't know, I don't think they realize, yeah. But it's at the same time, I want to be there, but at the same time, I want to protect myself from them complaining all the time. So I'm just trying to make sense out of all this. Where am I, and how can I deal with these colleagues who's always blah blah complain? It seems like,
Ooh.
yeah. So yeah, that's what's
I'm
happening.
so glad you shared this. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah. And I wonder how many people are going to relate to this because I agree with you that like relationships are the hardest part
Mm,
or one of the hardest parts of having ADHD. And in the workplace, it's complicated because you do interact with these people, throughout the day, every
mm.
day, but
Yes.
also they're not your friends. And so it's like, it's really difficult to navigate. Ay. Okay. Are you, it sounds like you're asking,
Mhm.
and I just want to like put it into words and see if this is what you're asking. And if not, you can correct me.
Okay.
It sounds like you're asking, how do I just exist here and do what I want to do
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hmm.
without letting them kind of take over my mood or my like
Excitement.
vibe? Yes?
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah. I mean, I have to deal with them because next year our school has 80-year anniversary, which means we have to put a concert together. And I don't mind doing musical work, but they are often very not content. They are just not happy people. And it does have an influence. And interestingly, I have to say, I am very well received in school. The students, I get along very well. Yeah. And for instance, my female colleague, actually, kids don't like them. Kids don't like her, actually. I mean, they come, like, yeah, why can you not teach our class? I want to have you instead. I mean, I heard that so many times. And I think also this woman is a bit jealous of the
Yes.
success I'm having. I think that's also part, I hate to admit it, but I think that's part of it. I mean,
I
who
think
wants
that's
to come to
really,
school? Yeah.
it's important for you to admit.
Uh,
That's actually a very important admission. is very important because it gives you insight into what's happening and it allows you to understand and then set up protections for yourself.
Okay.
So if you can see clearly
Mm-hmm.
they're unhappy, they want to blame that on me or the principal, but they don't want to take responsibility and make changes on their own.
Oh, no.
Their kids don't really like their classes
Mm-mm.
and they're I definitely agree that they're jealous of you and they don't want you to succeed too much.
Exactly. And that really actually burnt me down. I mean, when I hear some colleague, I got a funding for 3,000 euro. Oh, great. Happy for you. Yeah. But they couldn't tell me once, oh, good for you. It's like, why did you do that? You are not
Yeah.
supposed to do that. I'm like, well, where am I here?
Yeah.
And nobody else in school responded like that, except them. And they are
Yep.
my colleague, close, supposed to be working together. And I thought something is really wrong here. I thought to
Yes.
myself, you know.
I
Uh,
agree with you. Something is
mhm.
really wrong.
Oh, okay.
And it's their attitude. It's really wrong. So this is, oh, your sweet face.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. I mean, yeah, it's just I sometimes think, did I do something okay? They
No,
need to be informed that, but I
no.
mean, this is not a response you even give your colleague. I
Yeah.
thought to myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway.
Okay. Let me just do a check in with you.
Mm.
Is your principal happy with the work that you're doing?
Oh, he's excited about it. I mean, everything he gave me the order, it sounds funny. I always fulfill it. He said, "Oh, great! I would like to have a school concert." I said, "Okay, let me think about it." And I made this thing. And then this colleague said, "Oh, yeah, they're always using us, the music teachers, to present for the school." I'm like, "Well, I mean, but that's part of being a music teacher. You
Yes.
have a concert, you present. I mean, that's part
Yes.
of it. Why do you
Yes.
say that he's using us?" And I just didn't like this attitude. I
I
was, yeah.
agree with you. I agree with you. Okay. So here's what we're going to do,
Okay.
you and me. We're going to firm up and get clear on what's happening. Okay?
Okay.
That's what's going to be useful to you in this
Mm.
conversation is clarity.
Okay.
So here are a couple things. If you were doing something wrong, your principal would come to you and
Hmm.
say, "Hey, Heejung, you overstepped. You did something wrong." Your principal would tell you that. We're
Mm.
not going to gauge whether or not we're doing something wrong based on the attitude of toxic people.
Toxic. You think this is toxic?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so, but I didn't want to say it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And some people struggle with the word toxic. We could use other words. We could use unhealthy. We could use unsafe. We could use
Yeah.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Mhm.
this is, Maggie says, your coworkers are mean girls. And like, that's what it is, right? So like, that's
Mean.
not healthy behavior. That's not healthy interaction. That is not a co-working relationship. That's actually,
Mm.
Heejung, stay small. Don't make too much of
Wait.
yourself or your classes.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't hold yourself to a high standard because then I'm going to be having to hold myself to a high standard. I don't want to do that.
Yes. Hmm.
Don't be too good of a teacher because then the classes will like you better than they like me. Don't make the principal proud because then he's going to like want more concerts and I don't want to do more. Like it's all of that. That's not safe collaborative behavior. Okay, so at work, we're not looking for people to be our friends. It's not, of course, it's not that. But we are looking for collaborative relationships. Does that word translate for you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just making sure. And
Yes.
so these are not collaborative relationships. Yeah.
This is interesting. So I have now 10th grade, and then in our German curriculum, 10th grade, if it's possible to take them to opera, which is of course more work for me to arrange. But I thought this is important. These kids in the countryside, they never maybe have a chance to go to opera, so I arranged. And last year, I asked one of the colleague, "Hey, I'm going to opera. Do you want to also join me?" And basically he says, no, I don't have time. And I found out he talked behind my colleague's back. Oh, the opera Heejung wants to take, this is not a good opera. And I thought to myself, if he doesn't have time to go say, I don't have time, why does he talk badly about that this is not appropriate? I thought this was totally appropriate. So this year, I did not even confront. I asked him, I said, I don't
Yeah.
know what he's doing. I'm taking my class. End of
Good
discussion.
for
Uh-huh.
you.
Yeah.
That's the kind of energy we're looking for.
Ah.
Okay, more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you're going to be rude, not that you're going to be disrespectful, not that you will not be collaborative, because when you need to be collaborative, you will. But
Mm-hmm.
we are not looking to these coworkers to measure your success, to measure whether or not you're doing a good job, to measure whether or not your choices are appropriate, because they suck. Sorry. And we don't let people who suck hold the standard for our success. We could stitch that on a pillow. We don't let people who suck measure our standard of success. It's just not, that's not something we're going to do. So the clarity that I want to give you is like, you're not wrong. If you were in the wrong, your principal would come and tell you. That's how we measure whether or not you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so if your principal were to come to you and say, hey, this isn't okay, then of course, then that's something you need to work on. But that hasn't
Mm-hmm.
happened. Your principal is thrilled with your work.
He is. Actually, I'm very thankful. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because you're doing a great job. I'm going to grab my whiteboard because this, I just want to illustrate, and it's not, I'm just going to draw a very simple Venn diagram. And because I am not an artist, I'm nervous to draw two circles. Okay. Here's you,
Mm-hmm.
Heejung.
Mm-hmm.
Here are your coworkers.
Yes. Okay.
There is a tiny sliver in the middle where you do have to overlap.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just the nature of your work.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I want you to, after this call, sit with a Venn diagram like this
Okay.
and figure out
Mm-hmm.
what's yours,
Mm-hmm.
what's theirs,
Mm-hmm.
their attitudes, their perceptions, their own decisions. They're talking about like all that's theirs. Like write it, okay? And then make note and get really clear on the few things that overlap.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
There's a couple things that are going to overlap. So maybe it's we have to plan the spring concert together. I'm just making things up, but let's just
Mm-hmm.
pretend. Okay, something like that. That is something that's going to overlap. You can't help that. But there's a lot that's just yours that I
Mm-hmm.
don't want them to be involved. Like I don't want them to be in your brain about. I want you to quiet the brain chatter
Mm-hmm.
on the things that are just yours. We're not going to worry about them anymore. Now, this is going to take some practice. Because your brain, of course, rightfully is like, I don't want anybody to be mad at me. I don't want anybody to. Enough with that. They're going to be mad. They're unhappy. They're always mad. They're just always annoyed, but they're not very nice. Here's the thing that I realized about myself was that I was so concerned with people liking me, even people that I didn't like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so
Yes.
that's something that I had to work on really hard. And I encourage you to work on too. I don't like it when people don't like me, but like, I don't even like these people. They're not
Mm-hmm.
even nice. They're not kind. They're not consistently collaborative. They're not even good coworkers. So I'm going to work with my body to just
Mm-hmm.
tolerate them not liking me. Now, when my husband doesn't like me, that's a problem for me. When my friends don't like me, when my principal doesn't like me, these are things that we need to work on, right? Those are things like, okay, something's going on here. I need to,
Mm-hmm.
but like these coworkers, they're not even nice. So we're just not going to worry
Mm-hmm.
about they're not collaborative, they're not kind. Yeah. And Dominique says it's probably a good sign if shitty people don't like you.
Love that.
Like you're probably doing something right, Heejung. And your students and your principal can attest to that. They're happy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
your job is to get clear, is to gain
Mm-hmm.
clarity here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
what's yours to worry about? So this is your thoughts, your feelings, your specific jobs within your teaching practice, the opera, the one concert that's yours to like all of that. This is all in your jurisdiction. What's in your coworkers' jurisdiction that you're going to make a very clear effort to not worry about because it's in their circle. And this is not the part that overlaps with yours.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are the few things here where there is overlap?
Mm-hmm. I have a question. This is interesting. Yeah, tolerate them not liking me. So it just happened one small instance. So end of
Yeah.
the month, there is a very important activity that we have to present. Yeah. So there, my choir is singing, and then this like band they will be also playing. And it turns out there's one fifth grader. She wants to be in my choir. Uh-huh. But she also plays like flute. And then my colleague found out, oh, wait a minute, she went to your choir. I'm like, oh, I didn't want any competition. And she asked me, yeah, but I really need her because we have such a few people. Can she please come to rehearsal on this day? I said, sure, because I didn't want to have any conflict. And afterward, I thought about it. Wait a minute, but I do need her too. I mean, she needs to at least come to the last rehearsal. I cannot let her just go the whole time. I said, why did he say, okay, sure, you can take her, yeah? So that's often the response because I don't want to make her upset. I say, sure, you can take her. I'm like, but I thought to myself afterward, no, actually, I mean,
Oh,
maybe you have
girl.
to share half and half. But actually, she's in my choir because she signed up for the choir, not for the band, supposedly. And things like that, it's like when I don't want to have a frontal collision, but it's a little bit, it's difficult because the kid, she chose where to be. And I mean, I feel a little bit sad for my colleague, but yeah, okay. In a
Yeah.
situation like that, often I'm so used to just, oh, sure, take that, no problem, yeah. And
Yes. And you named why.
I did.
You did name it. Yeah. Why are you so quick to say, sure, sure? Sit with that for a second. Why are you so quick to do that?
I don't want to have any conflict with my coworker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
It's unpleasant. I want to leave. I mean, I've been in school much shorter. I want to be in a good terms with people. Yeah,
Right. But how are we going to be on good terms with very unreasonable, unhappy people?
you cannot actually. Or,
Unless you say yes to everything.
uh,
And
we,
even then, they're talking about you behind your back.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is
Mm-hmm.
another, ugh, this is another part where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
your first piece of work is to just notice how fast you are to say yes. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. It's a full body response and it's protective.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say something just real quick. It was probably learned decades ago
Yes.
to keep you safe in certain
Mm-hmm.
relationships
Mm-hmm.
when you were little and you
Mm-hmm.
needed to be safe. And the only way to be safe was to comply.
Oof.
Yeah.
I think we are right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. But now you are a full grown woman.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's this practice, and I've had to do it myself. It does take a lot of practice, but it's the practice of overriding the little self that says, sure, yeah, no problem. Overriding her and letting grown self come in and say, let me just sit with this for a second. Let me think about that for just a second. And then with your grown logical brain,
Mm-hmm.
okay, does this actually work for me? Does this actually make sense? Because as soon as you said yes and that person left, your logical brain took over and you were like, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense. Right. And that probably happens every time. And I have
Mm-hmm.
done this a million bajillion times as well. So this is not This is not just a Heejung thing. This is an all of us thing. But it's about first noticing it and self-soothing and then going back and saying, hey,
Mm,
remember how I said that was fine? I actually said that really impulsively. It's actually not fine. Actually, we actually need to like discuss because this isn't going to work. Because she actually signed up for my class, not your class. So how can we navigate this?
mhm.
The trouble is that you're dealing with unhappy, unreasonable people. And what you want to do is keep the peace. And literally, the only way to keep the peace is to say yes to everything they want. And so you
Mhm.
have to decide, am I willing to say yes to everything they want?
No,
Right?
no, mm-mm. Mhm,
Right? That's literally the only way that they're going to be cool
mhm,
is if you're just like, sure, 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 sure. Yes, of course. Right? Here's something that you said. You said, I don't want to have conflict because it's unpleasant. And I totally agree. Whoa. My stomach is churning just thinking about it. But do you know what is also unpleasant? It's unpleasant to have your boundaries crossed. It's unpleasant to have a student have to negotiate two groups that maybe that student doesn't even want to play in the band. It's
Oh,
unpleasant
good
to
question. Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm, mhm,
Yeah, Dominique says all you got to do is sacrifice yourself and your values and your sanity. That's all you have to do in order to keep the peace, right? Just sacrifice yourself. Sacrifice what you think is best about your program.
mm,
Probably sacrifice the students, right? Or we
mm,
say, wait a second here. No, I know what's best for me and for my students. I'm a grown up here. I'm going to let them have their unpleasant response. And it's not mine to manage for them. That is a very evolved perspective. So that's going to take some work. That's going to take some work, but that's the end goal, right? The
mhm,
end goal is this is not mine to manage. This is not my discomfort to manage. This is her discomfort to manage.
mhm.
All right, I've said a lot of words. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. You know, it makes sense. I see this relationship. It's not just right now, the current situation, but it's really also with our childhood, how we brought up,
Yes,
you know, how we are
lovely.
trained. Yeah, and interesting. I'm an adult woman. I'm 50 years old. Yeah, but still in a situation like that, my little self, my inner child of 5, 6 years is coming out. That's what I'm seeing actually. Yeah, and
That's such an important, just pause there. Just really pause there for a sec. That's
yeah.
so important. That's so important for you to just recognize, oh, this is 6-year-old Heejung. And listen, she needs to be protected, that 6-year-old version of you. She needs to be soothed. She needs to be like, hey, like she needs to know that you've got her back and that you're not going to let anything bad happen to her.
Mm-hmm,
Right. But
mm-hmm,
knowing who's showing up in the moment,
mm-hmm,
is this grown up me or is this little me?
mm-hmm.
I know you've been working on finding a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yes,
still happening? Yeah.
yes,
These are
yes,
the things
yes,
that you
yes.
will be discussing with your therapist for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I called and I'm waiting, but it's I'm making progress. I'm making progress.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you. I can
it's
tell
just
you're
like,
making progress.
oh, thank you, Gronomy.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank. No, one thing I'm taking for sure. I mean, now I thought, do I have to make small talk with them? And I realized, no, actually, I don't need to make any small
Yeah.
talk. No, no, this
No,
is not. No.
they're
Mm-hmm,
unpleasant. They're unpleasant. We don't, why? No, they're not nice. They're not kind.
no.
No, no. So I want you again, when we're done here, I want you to really sit with that Venn diagram.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
What's mine to manage? What's theirs to manage? Where do we overlap? And the overlap should be very few things, like actual in your job description overlap.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes.
God forbid small talk, Dr. Ali says, not with them. I love it. All right, I'm going to let you go.
Thank you so much, Christine. That
You've
helped me a
done
lot.
good work. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Truly. Yep. All right. Sending you
Okay.
back, honey.
Thank
All right.
you.
All right, my friends. I really hope that you enjoyed that coaching session. I hope that it gave you just an insight into what it's like to be coached. And also, I really want you to feel hope for your future. Just like I was talking to Bob, that like it's never too late for you to make change. It's never too late for you to improve, to evolve, to become more of who you want to be. So I just wanted to leave you with that encouragement today. If you are interested in being coached by me or joining our focus community of hundreds of adults with ADHD from all over the world, go to ihaveadhd.com/focused. Of course, the link will be, right there for you in the show notes too. Okay. I can't wait to see you next week. Bye-bye.